Hello, good day viewers. Remember I promised to start working on past Jamb questions. And this is Jamb question 2021 and we have 40 questions in this tutorial. And without wasting time, I'm going to start with the first question. The first question reads, we should solve the equation 2 divided by 2r minus 1 minus 5 divided by 3 equal to 1 divided by r plus 2. So we want to find the values of r that can satisfy this equation. Okay, first of all, let us collect the like terms. I would like to take this constant term to the right hand side and bring this term backward. So this becomes 2 divided by 2r minus 1. And if the other term crosses over, it becomes negative 1 divided by r plus 2. And if the constant crosses over, it becomes positive 5 divided by 3. Now, what is the LCD? The LCD will be the product of the two denominators. We have 2r minus 1 multiplied by r plus 2. Now, if you take this and plug it in here, this is what is going to be left, and you have to multiply it by the numerator 2. So 2 multiplied by r plus 2 will give us 2r plus 4. Then you write it here, 2r plus 4. Then you minus, because of this minus sign. If you take this and plug it in here, it will cancel this, and this is what is going to be left. And you have to multiply it by 1. So multiplying it by 1 will not change the value. So we have 2r minus 1. And this is equal to 5 divided by 3. Now let us simplify the numerator. You know that this negative sign will affect every time under the bracket. So let me do it to the other side. We have 2r plus 4, then minus 2r. Then that minus 1 will become positive 1. Divide by 2r minus 1 multiplied by r plus 2. And to the right hand side, we have 5 divided by 3. If you observe, the numerator here is just 5 because 2r will cancel 2r because 2r minus 2r is 0 and 4 plus 1 is 5. So since the two fractions have common numerator, we can clearly see that the denominators are also the same. Therefore, this must be equal to 3. So now let us expand the factors. 2r times r is 2r squared. 2r times 2 is 4r. Then negative 1 times r will give us negative r, and 4r minus r is 3r. So we have 3r here. Then negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. And this is equal to 3. If you bring back positive 3 to the left hand side, it becomes negative. And we have negative 2 there already. So negative 2, negative 3 is negative 5. So we have 2r squared plus 3r minus 5 equal to 0, which is a quadratic equation. Now let us solve this by factorization. We have two factors, each equal to 0. You take the leading coefficient 2, you multiply by negative 5, and that will give us negative 10. And think of two numbers, which when you multiply them together, you get negative 10. And when added up together gives positive 3. So I think the numbers are negative 2 and positive 5, right? So r minus 2, then r plus 5. But remember, the leading coefficient is 2, so you have to divide these numbers by 2. Therefore, we have r minus 1 because 2 divided by 2 is 1. Then multiply by r plus 5 divided by 2. Now we are going to set each of them to be equal to 0. The first one, if you set it to be equal to 0, you have r equal to 1. And if you set the second one to be 0, we have r equal to negative 5 divided by 2. And this is our solution. Now let us look through the options. We have 1 and negative 5 over 2, which is option B. Now let us go to question number 2. And I'm going to clean some of these parts. Question number 2. We are asked to find how many ways can 2 students be selected from a group of 5 students. So this is just a combination, 5 combination 2. So this is 5 combination 2, which is equal to 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 2 factorial. Then you multiply by 2 factorial. This is factorial. This is equal to 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 2 is 3 factorial, then 2 factorial. 5 factorial means 5 times 4 times 2 times 3 times 1. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Divide by 3, 2, 1, then 2, 1. For cancellation, we can see from 3 down to 1, we'll cancel this. 2 times 1 is 2, we'll go into 4 2 times. All we have is 5 times 2, which is equal to 10. And from the option, you can see it is option B. Moving on, question number 3. The question reads, what is the rate of change of the volume, V, of a hemisphere with respect to its radius when the radius is equal to 2? Remember that the volume of a sphere is equal to 4 divided by 3 pi r to the power of 3. But hemisphere is just half of a sphere. Therefore, volume of a hemisphere is equal to 2 divided by 3 pi r to the power of 3. And here, since it is asking us for the rate of change, it means we are going to find the derivative, meaning we are going to differentiate this with respect to r. All right. dv over dr is equal to, you take this power right here, you multiply by the constant. 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we have 2, pi is there as constant. Then you have to reduce 1 from this power 3, and it becomes 2. So this is the rate of change of the volume with respect to radius. But we want to find this at r equal to 2. All we have to do is to subtract the value of r equal to 2. So this is equal to, at r equal to 2, we have 2 pi 2 squared, because r is equal to 2. This is equal to 2 pi 2 squared is 4. Therefore, 2 pi times 4 is equal to 8 pi, which is option A. Question number 4, we are asked to determine the maximum value of y equal to 3x squared plus 5x minus 3. This is a quadratic equation. And you know that the curve of a quadratic equation could either be up and up or up and down parabola. And the maximum can be obtained here, while the minimum can be obtained right here. That is exactly where the curve takes a turn. So there is a formula that will guide us in finding this. And the formula is y equals 4ac minus b squared divided by 4a, where a is the leading coefficient 3, b is the coefficient of the middle term, which is 5, and c is the constant negative 3. So let's substitute. This is equal to 4 multiplied by a, which is 3, then multiplied by c, which is negative 3, then minus b squared, which is 5 squared, divided by 4 multiplied by a. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 times negative 3 is negative 36. So we have negative 36. Then minus 5 squared is 25, divided by 4 times 3 is 12. This is equal to negative 36. We have negative 36, negative 25, which is negative 61, divided by 12. So actually, this quadratic equation has a minimum value, not maximum value. And you can see even from the option, we do not have anything that corresponds to negative 61 divided by 12. And hence, we can take option D, no correct option here. When the leading coefficient is positive, we have to get an open up parabola. And in an open up parabola, we have the minimum value, not maximum value. So we should have not wasted our time solving the problem because we have minimum here, not maximum. So let's go to question number 5. A trapezium has two parallel sides of the length 5 centimeters and 9 centimeters, respectively. If the area is 91 centimeters squared, we are asked to find the distance between the parallel lines or the parallel sides. We are talking about the height. So let me sketch it here for you. So suppose this is a trapezium. These two sides are parallel. No matter where they get to, they will never meet. So this is 5 and this is 9. So we want to find the height. And remember that the area of the trapezium is equal to half the sum of the two sides. We used to call them A and B, but this time around we have 5 and 9. Then we multiply by the height. So A is given, which is 91. And this is equal to half of 5 plus 9. 5 plus 9 is 14. Half of 14 is 7. So we have 7 times H. And to find the H, we just divide both sides by 7. And H equal to 91 divided by 7. And 91 divided by 7 is equal to 13. Therefore, H is equal to 13 cm, which is option A. Now let us go on to question number 6. Question number 6, we are asked to find the value of P if the line which passes through these 2 points is parallel to the line 2y plus 8x minus 17 equal to 0. Remember, if two lines are parallel, they must have the same slope. So now let us rearrange this equation into the standard form, slope-intercept form. We take every term to the right-hand side except y. So we have, let me clean this first. We have 2y to the left, and we take 8x to the right, it becomes negative 8x. We take negative 17 to the right, it becomes positive 17. Again, we divide both sides by 2. We have y equal to negative 8 divided by 2, which is negative 4x, plus 17 divided by 2. And you can see m, which is the slope, is equal to negative 4. If m is equal to negative 4, remember that y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, which is the slope, is equal to m. And remember, from here we have x1, y1, x2, y2. Let's just substitute. We start with y2, we have 2, then minus y1, which is p, negative, so this becomes positive, divide by x2, which is negative 2, then minus x1, minus is plus 1, and this is equal to m, which is negative 4. To the bottom, we have negative 2 plus 1, which is negative 1, and we can cross multiply with this negative 4, and negative 1 times negative 4 is positive 4. Therefore, we can write this as 2 plus p equal to 4. You take 2 to the right, we have p equal to 4 minus 2. And finally, p is equal to 2. And from the option, we have it as D. Moving on, question number 7. The ratio of the lengths of two similar rectangular blocks is 2 to 3. If the volume of the larger block is 351 cm cubed, we are asked to find the volume of the smaller block. Okay, suppose we have blocks like this. This is the smallest one. This is the biggest one. And they are in the ratio, their size 2 to 3. The linear scale factor is 2 ratio 3, which is 2 over 3. This is linear scale factor. Then for the area scale factor, all you have to do is to square this. But we are talking about volume. So we have volume scale factor is equal to 2 divided by 3 all to the power of 3, which is equal to 8 over 27. Where 8 represents the smaller block and 27 represent the bigger block. So now let us relate them together. We have 8 out of 27 would be equal to V, which we are looking for the small block, out of that of the bigger one, which is 351. All we have to do is to cross multiply, and if you cross multiply, you have V equal to 8 multiplied by 351 divided by 27. So now finally V will be equal to, let me use my calculator, we have 8 multiplied by 351, which is equal to 2808. Then we divide that by 27 and we have 104 cm cube. And from the option I can't find any, but this is the actual solution. Let us go on to question number 8. Question number 8, we are asked to find the derivative of the function y equal to 2x squared multiplied by 2x minus 1 at the point where x is equal to -1. So there are two different ways in which you can do this. You can multiply and expand the bracket, and you can apply product rule, but at your own level, I would like to suggest you should always expand the bracket. So 2x squared times 2x will give us 4x to the power of 3. So y equal to 4x to the power of 3. Then minus 2x squared times 1 is still 2x squared. So now we can differentiate from here. dy over dx would be equal to, you take the power of 3, you multiply by 4, it becomes 12. X, you reduce the power by 1, it becomes 2. Then minus, you take the power 2, you multiply by 2, it becomes 4. X, you reduce the power by 1, it becomes 2 minus 1 equal to 1, which you don't have to write. But at x equal to -1, all you have to do is to substitute. So we have 12 multiplied by -1 all squared, then minus 4 multiplied by -1. From here, -1 squared is still 1, and 1 times 12 is 12. So we have 12 here. Then -4 times -1 is +4. And finally, this is equal to 16, which is option B. Number 9. This is something you can just use your calculator to simplify. We are asked to correct this to 4 significant figures. Let us first of all simplify the bracket. 3 multiplied by 10 to the power of -3 is the same thing as 3 divided by 1000. 3 divided by 1000. Then you square that. Then whatever you have, you multiply by 241.34. So let me use my calculator to do that directly. We have 3 divided by 1000, which is 0.003. If you square that, it's like you are multiplying it by itself, which is the same thing as 0.000009. Then you multiply by 241.34. And that will give us 0.00217206. But this is talking about 4 significant figures. Therefore, we are going to consider the first whole number after these zeros. This is the first 1, 2, 3, 4. We stop here. Then we have to consider the next digit, which is 0. If this 0 is up to 5, we have to increase this 2 by 1 to make it 3. But since it is not up to, our result becomes 0.002172, which is option D. Number 10. We are asked to find the mean deviation of 1, 2, 3, and 4. First of all, you have to find the mean. And the mean is sum of all the items divided by the number of items. So we have mean, which is x bar equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 divided by number of items 1, 2, 3, 4. This is equal to 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 divided by 4, which is equal to 2.5. Therefore, the mean x bar is equal to 2.5. And mean deviation is the summation of x minus x bar divide by n. So let's do that. We take every single element here and subtract the mean. So this is equal to 1 minus 2.5 in an absolute form. Then plus the second one, 2 minus 2.5 plus 3 minus 2.5 plus last one, 4 minus 2.5 in an absolute form. The whole of them divide by n, and n is 4. 1 minus 2.5 will give us negative 1.5, but in an absolute form, we have positive value 1.5. Then we add 2 minus 2.5 will give us 0.5, but in an absolute form is 0.5. Then 3 minus 2.5 will give us 0.5 plus 0.5. And last one, we have 4 minus 2.5 will give us 2.5, the whole of this by 4. If you add all of this together, you have to get 4. So we have 4 divided by 4, which is equal to 1. And which is option A, you can see it here. Just take your calculator, add all of these numbers together. You must get 4, and 4 divided by 4 is 1. Question number 11, we are asked this question: at what rate will the sum of 100 naira deposited for 5 years raise an interest of 7.5 naira? So remember, our formula is simple. Interest is equal to principal times rate times time divided by 100. But the interest is given already from the question. This is objective questions, remember. You don't have to write everything. We have simple interest, 7.5. This is equal to principal amount, which is 100, multiplied by the rate, which we are asked to find, R, but T, time is 5 years, divided by 100. This 100 will take care of this 100. To the top, we have only R times 5, which is 5R. So 5R is equal to 7.5, and R is equal to 7.5 divided by 5. This is equal to 1.5, and 1.5 is the same thing as 1 over 2 percent, which is, okay, we even have it as C, 1.5. Moving on, question number 12. Question number 12 reads, 3 children shared a basket of mangoes in such a way that the first child took 1 over 4 of the mangoes, and the second child got 3 over 4 of the remainder. What fraction of the mangoes did the third child take? Okay, since we don't know the number of mangoes, we can declare it with something else like x. So let me say that the total number of mangoes equal to x. The first child has taken 1 over 4 of this total mangoes, which is 1 over 4 times x, which is x divided by 4. So let us find out the remainder before we consider what the second child has gotten. It is going to be x, which is the total number, minus what the first child has taken, x divided by 4. And this is 4 times x. 4x minus x is 3x divided by 4. So this is the remainder. Therefore, the second child will take this of 3 over 4. And this is equal to 9x divided by 16. Because 3x times 3 is 9x, and 4 times 4 is 16. Therefore, the second child got 9x divided by 16. And the question asks, what fraction of these mangoes did the third child got? Okay, to find that, we are going to add the first and the second share and take it away from the total. To find that fraction, we are going to say that x minus the sum of the first, which is x divided by 4, plus 9x divided by 16. For equivalency, we can multiply this by 4, and we have to multiply the 12 by 4, so that we have x minus this plus this 4x plus 9x is going to make it 13x. So we have 13x divided by 16. So now we have 16 times x, which is 16x minus 13x, the whole of this divided by 16. This is equal to 16 minus 13 is 3x divided by 16. So this is the share of the third person. Well, we are only concerned with the fraction, which is 3 over 16. And you can see it as option A. So 3 over 16 of the total number of mangoes is what the third person got. Now moving on to question number 13. Question number 13 is asking us to simplify and express in the standard form the whole of this. You don't have problem. All you have to do is to multiply the top and multiply the bottom. Then you divide. This is equal to 0.0000176. Then if you multiply the other one, that is going to give us 0.002. Then let us divide. That will give us 0.0088. So in standard form, this point is going to be migrated 1, 2, 3. So this becomes 8.8 times 10 raised to the power of negative 3. Because we are coming from the left to the right, so the power is negative. But if you're coming from the right to the left, the power will be positive. So we have option C here. Question number 14. We are asked to simplify this. Square root of 27 plus 3 divided by root 3. Square root of 27 is the same thing as square root of 9 times 3, right? Then we have plus 3 divided by root 3. But 3 divided by root 3 can be rationalized by multiplying the top and the bottom by root 3. It's the same thing because root 3 divided by root 3 is 1. Square root of 9 is 3. So we have 3 root 3 plus. We have 3 multiplied by root 3 is 3 root 3. Divide by root 3 times root 3 is root 3 squared, which is 3. So this 3 will cancel this. All we have is 3 root 3 plus root 3, which is equal to 4 root 3. And we have it as option A. Question number 15. 3 brothers in a business deal shared a profit at the end of the contract. The first received 1 over 3 of the profit. Second received 2 over 3 of the remainder. If the third person received 12,000 naira, how much profit did they share? All right, so since we don't know the profit, I can assume the profit is X. Let me let it to be X. So the first person got 1 over 3 of this. So we have X over 3. The second person got 2 over 3 of the remainder. So let me first of all find the remainder. The remainder will be the total minus what the first person has gotten, X divided by 3. And this is equal to 3x minus x, which is 2x divided by 3. So this is the remainder. And the second person got 2 over 3 of this. So we multiply this by 2 over 3, which is the same thing as 4x over 9. So 4x over 9. And the third person got 12,000. So it means if we should add these 3 shares together, they must be equal to x. And x is said to be the profit they shared. So let me add all of them together. We have the first one, x divided by 3, plus the second one, 4x divided by 9, plus 12,000. And all of this must be equal to x. So we can multiply every single time here by 9 to clear the fractions. Multiplying the first time by 9, we have 9x divided by 3, which is 3x. Plus multiplying this by 9, they will just cancel. We have 4x. Then plus we have 12,000 times 9. This is 108,000. 108,000, and this is equal to 9x because we are multiplying all by 9. Let us collect the like terms. We have 7 here, 7x. So 108,000 is equal to this 9x minus 7x, and this will give us 2. 108,000 is equal to 2x. Finally, x will be 108,000 divided by 2, which is equal to 54,000. So if we divide by 2, we divide by 2, 2 cancel 2, x will be equal to 54,000 naira. We have it as option B here. Question number 16. We have 2 points, P and Q, are 2 ends of a diameter. Okay, so if we have a circle here, this is said to be the diameter. This point is -6, 1, and this point is 6, 6. So we are asked to find the radius of this diameter. Radius is just half of the diameter. So first of all, let us find the diameter and divide by 2. So we can use formula for finding the distance, d, which is equal to the square root of, let's assume this is x, this is y, this is x2, this is y2. It will be x2 minus x1 squared, then plus y2 minus y1 also squared. So d will be equal to the square root of x2 is 6 and x1 is -6. So we have 6 minus minus, so it becomes plus. We have plus 6 all squared, then plus. The next one is y2, which is 6, then minus y1 minus 1. This is squared. This is equal to 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 squared is 144. Plus 6 minus 1 is 5, and 5 squared is 25. This is 169, square root of 169. And square root of 169 is 13. You see, we have 13 here, but we are not asked to find the value of the diameter, rather the radius. Therefore, radius will be diameter divided by 2, and this is equal to 13 divided by 2. And 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. Therefore, R is equal to 6.5 units. So we have it as A, option A. Okay, question number 17. The angle of a sector of a cycle of radius 10.5 cm is 48 degrees. We are asked to calculate the perimeter of the sector. So if we have a cycle like this, this is sector, and this sector has a degree of 48, and the radius is 10.5. Therefore, the perimeter, remember, the perimeter of a cycle is 2 pi r. Perimeter equals to 2 pi r. But here, since it's not a complete cycle, we have to take theta out of 360. Therefore, this becomes 48 divided by 360, multiplied by 2, multiplied by pi. In Nigeria, commonly we use 22/7. Then radius is 10.5. So I will use my calculator to multiply everything direct. We have 48 multiplied by 2, multiplied by 22, multiplied by 10.5. Then I will divide from there, divide by 360, then divide by 7 again. We have 8.8 centimeters, which is option A. Number 18. We are asked to find the length of a side of a rhombus whose diagonals are 6 and 8 respectively. You know, a rhombus is a kind of square, but a compressed square. So it looks like a kite, but all sides are equal. So it's something like this. where if this is x, this must be x, this must be x. All the sides are equal. So this is the diagonals. So if the longest diagonal is 8, so this will be 4 and this will be 4, making 8, right? And if this is 6, we have 3, 3, because they are equal. So we can apply Pythagoras rule here because we have a right angle triangle right here, which says that the hypotenuse squared, I can use x squared is equal to 4 squared plus 3 squared. X squared is equal to 4 squared 16 plus 3 squared is 9. X squared is equal to 25, and x is equal to the square root of 25. Finally, x is equal to 5, which is option B. This is how you should be solving problems in Jamb, because you have to be very fast. Question 19. Each of the interior angles of a regular polygon is 140 degrees. A regular polygon is that type of polygon in which all the interior angles are equal. So here we want to find the number of angles. So there's a formula for that, which says n, which we are looking for, minus 2 multiplied by 180 is equal to n multiplied by the degree, which is 140. So if you expand here, we have 180n minus 360. This is equal to n times 140, which is 140n. We collect the like terms, we have 180n minus 140n. If you take 360 to the right, it becomes positive 360. So we have 180 minus 140 is 40. So we have 40n equal to 360. Divide both sides by 40, n is equal to 360. Divide by 40, then n is equal to 360 divided by 40, we have 9 dots. So option A. So that polygon with 140 degrees each interior angle has 9 sides. Number 20. This is the halfway because we have 40 questions. A cylinder pipe made of metal is 3 centimeters thick. If the internal radius of the pipe is 10 centimeters, we are asked to find the volume of the metal used in making 3 meters of the pipe. Okay, let me make a kind of rough sketch here. If this is the pipe here, the thickness of the pipe is 3 centimeters, and this one we have a radius of 10 centimeters. So if this is the pipe, and this pipe, the height of this pipe is 3 meters, and this 3 meters is equivalent to 300 centimeters, because what we are given is in centimeters. So remember, the volume is equal to pi r squared h. So now let us substitute. We have pi r squared h equal to pi multiplied by r squared, but this time around we have 2 r's, the internal and the external. The external will be 3 plus 10, which is 13. So we have 13 squared, then minus the internal, which is 10 squared. Then h is 300. We have pi multiplied by 169 minus 100, because 13 squared is 169. Then we have times 300. This is equal to 69 multiplied by 300 multiplied by pi. So we have 69 times 300. This is 20,700. 20,700 pi, and the unit is cm cube, which we have as option D. Now moving on, we have question number 21. So we have question number 21, and question number 21 reads, the locus of a point which moves so that it is equidistant from 2 intersecting straight lines. So if we have 2 intersecting straight lines like this, And we have a locus equidistance, which is equal distance between these two lines. So it is definitely a bisector of the two lines, which we have as option B, angle bisector of the two lines. Question number 22. We are given some numbers here, 4, 16, 30, 20, 10, 14, and 26 are represented on a pie chart. We are asked to find the sum of the angles of the bisectors representing all numbers equal to or greater than 16. So let me circle numbers that are equal to and greater than 16. We have 1 here, we have 2 here, 3, and we have 4. Okay, these are the, so we need to find angles of these numbers and sum them off together. But that is a great work. First of all, let us find the sum of these all numbers together. If we sum them, we have 4 plus 16 plus 30 plus 20 plus 10 plus 14 and finally plus 26. This is equal to 120. So if you add all of them together, you have 120. So these numbers that are greater or equal to 16, all of them, let us add them together. Sum of greater or equal to 16. We have them as 16 plus 30 plus 20 plus 26. We have them as 92. And remember that the total angle on a cycle is 360. So we're interested in this. So we take them 92 out of this 120. They multiply by 360. So we say 92 divided by 120. Whatever we have, we multiply by 360. And that will give us the sum of 276. 276 degrees. So if you find the angle representing these numbers on a pie chart and you add all of them together, you have to get 276, which is option D. Moving on, question number 23. The mean of 10 positive numbers is 16. When a number is added, the mean becomes 18. We are asked to find that number added, which is the 11th number. So even the 10 numbers are not given, so let us represent them maybe with y. And y divided by 10 because there are 10. The mean is the sum of items divided by number of items, and we have 16 here. And if a number should be added, let's assume that number is x. We have y plus x, and the numbers will increase from 10 to 11, and we have the mean to be equal to 18. From here, we can cross multiply so that we have y equal to 10 times 16, which is 160. And from here, we can see that y plus x, if you cross multiply, you have 198, because 11 times 18 is 198. So now that we have two equations, we can subtract. We can say that this minus y must be equal to this minus 160. So y plus x minus y is equal to 198 minus 160. So y will cancel y. We have x, which is the required number, equal to 198 minus 160, which is 38. So the number added is 38, which is option C. Moving on, we have question 24. The question reads, two numbers are removed at random from the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is the probability that the sum of the numbers removed is even? So let us plot a chart here, because we want to combine two numbers such that they will be even. We may have 1, 2, 3, 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4 here, combination of 1 and 1 here, combination of 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4. Secondly, we have 2 and 1, 2 and 2, 2 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 1, 3 and 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, and lastly 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, and 4. These are the various combinations we can have. So I want to mark those sets that when you add them together, you get an even number. 1 plus 1 is an even number, 2 plus 2 even, 3 plus 3 even. All these diagonals are even. Then coming here, we have even. This is an even number. This is also an even number. This is an even number. This is also an even number. So let me see. How many are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 of them. So this, because we are talking about probability, the expected outcomes is 8 out of the total outcome, which is 4 times 4, 16. And 8 plus 8, 16. Therefore, this is just 1 over 2 of the total numbers, which is option B. Find the probability that a number selected at random from 41 down to 56 is a multiple of 9. Okay, those numbers that are divisible by 9. So let us write them. We have 41, 42, 43, 5, and lastly 56. So we have how many numbers? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have total of 16. So the sample space is 16. So all we have to find out is how many numbers out of this set is divisible by 9. Then we write the number of numbers here to the top. So we don't have to waste time testing for all of these numbers. But I know the two numbers that are divisible are 45 and 54. So two numbers, we can test for the rest. So we have 2 of them here, which is equal to 1 over 8. So we have option A here. Question number 26. Musa borrowed 10 naira at the rate of 2% per month, simple interest, and repays 8 naira after 4 months. How much does he still owe? Okay, this is also simple interest. We have simple interest is equal to principal times rate times time divided by 100. From here you can see the principal, the amount he borrowed is 10 times the rate is 2 times the time for 4 months divided by 100 here. So we have 10 times 2, 20 times 4 is 80 divided by 100, which is equal to 0.8. So this is the interest, 0.8. Therefore, the amount expected of him to return will be the principal plus the interest. The principal is 10 plus the interest, which is 0.8, and this is equal to 10.8. But he repays 8. So we are going to subtract this 8 from 10.8 to determine how much he owes. So we have a 10.8 minus 8. This is equal to 2.8. And 2.8 is option C. Question number 27. We have 2 multiplied by log of 2 over 5 minus log of 72 divided by 125 plus log of 9. So basically all of these logs are in base 10. Therefore, we can give them a single log. Remember, these 2 right here can always serve as a power of this number 2 over 5. So this becomes log of 2 over 5 squared is 4 over 25. And minus log of 72 divided by 125 lastly plus log of 9. So the only term I simplified is the first term. So minus becomes division and plus becomes multiplication with a single log. So this is log of 4 divided by 25. Minus becomes division divided by 72 divided by 125. Plus becomes multiplication. We have 9 divided by 1. And instead of this division, I can make it multiplication and flip upside down 72 divided by 125. So I can now write it as 125 divided by 72. 125 divided by 72. Then I will change this division into multiplication. It's the same thing. All right, so now cancellation. From here, 25 can go into 125 5 times. And 4 can go into 4 1 time, and it can go into 72 18 times. And lastly, 9 can go into 9 1 time, and it can go into 18 2 times. So all we have is 5 over 2. This is equal to log of 5 divided by 2, which is the same thing as log of 5 minus log of 2. But from the option, we do not have anything as such. But there's a logic. We can write this log 5 as log 10 divided by 2. So this is log 10 divided by 2, because 10 divided by 2 is the same thing as 5. So we have minus log of 2. And this can also be written as log 10 minus log 2. Log 2, then minus log also 2. Log 10 is the same thing as 1. So we have 1 here, minus log 2 minus log 2 is minus 2 log 2. And 1 minus 2 log 2 is option D. So we have it as option D. Moving on, we have question 28. All right, question number 28, it reads, a car travels from Calabar down to Enugu, a distance of P kilometers, with an average of U kilometer per hour, and it continues to Benin, a distance of Q kilometers, with an average speed of W kilometer per hour. We're asked to find the average speed from the Calabar down to Benin. Okay, now let us break it down. Let me start with the first one. You know, an average speed is equal to distance divided by time, right? So the first one, from Calabar down to Enugu, we have a distance of P kilometers. So let me substitute with an average speed of U. So speed is U and distance is P, divided by T1. Let me call it T1, which implies that T1 is equal to P divided by U. Then from the second one, a distance of Q. Here we're talking about Q as a distance, and average speed of W. So we have W equals Q divided by T2, which implies that T2 is equal to Q divided by W. All right, so how can we find the total average speed? To find that, we are going to add P and Q together. We divide by the first time plus the second time. First of all, let me simplify T1 and T2 together. T1, you can clearly see that is P divided by U, and T2 is Q divided by W. So we have T1 plus T2. This is equal to P divided by U plus Q divided by W. The LCM will be UW. U into UW is W, so we multiply by P, we have PW, plus we have W into UW is U times Q, we have QU. So this is the sum of the two times, T1 and T2. So this is what we want to simplify. P plus Q divide by T1 plus T2, which is equal to this. So let me clean here and continue. We have P plus Q. Instead of division, we can multiply and take the reciprocal. We write the denominator UW first, then divide by PW plus QU. If you simplify this, you have UW multiplied by P plus Q. The whole of this divided by PW plus QU. So this is the average speed. And we can check in the options. We have, I think is option B. UW multiplied by P plus Q divided by PW plus QU. All right, we are done with this. We move to question number 29. Question number 29, if W varies inversely as UV divided by U plus V and W is equal to 8 when U is equal to 2 and V equal to 6, we are asked to find the relationship between UV and W. All right, so W varies inversely, so we take 1, we divide it by UV divided by U plus V. We remove the inverse proportion and we add K. Divide by UV divide by U plus V. And this can be simplified to, let me go to the top. W is equal to K multiplied by U plus V divide by UV. Now we can substitute. W is 8, so we have 8 here equal to K multiplied by U plus B. We have 2 plus 6, which is 8. And the U times V, 12, right? And 4 can go into 8 2 times, 4 can go into 12 3 times. So we have 8 equal to 2 over 3K. We multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 2 over 3. Therefore, K is equal to 8 multiplied by 3 over 2. 2 can go here, 1, 2 can go here, 4. And finally, K is equal to 12. Having obtained the value of K to be equal to 12, let us go ahead and plug it back into this relationship. So from there, we have W equal to 12 instead of K, multiplied by U plus V. Then we divide by UV, and we can cross multiply such that we have W times U times V. So W UV equal to 12 multiplied by U plus V. So this is the relationship. Let's see which option is this. I think it is option C. Moving on to question number 30. Question number 30, we are given that g of x is equal to x squared plus 3x. We are asked to find g of x plus 1 minus g of x. Already g of x is given. All we have to do is to substitute the value of x with x plus 1. So we have, wherever we have x, we replace it with x plus 1. That is g of x plus 1 is equal to x plus 1 all squared from here. Then plus 3 multiplied by x plus 1. If you expand this, you have x squared plus 2x plus 1. Then if you distribute here, you have 3x. Okay, I have to add plus 3x. Then 3 times 1 is 3. This will give us x squared plus 2, and this will give us 5x. And 1, and this will give us 4. So this is g of x plus 1. And finally, g of x plus 1, then minus g of x. It means we should take the whole of this and subtract what is given here. So this is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 4. Then you subtract x squared, and you also subtract 3x. This will eliminate this. We have 5x minus 3x is 2x. 2x plus 4. And we have 2 in common, so you can bring 2 out. Inside we have x plus 2 by factorization. So our answer is 2 multiplied by x plus 2, which is option B. All right, question number 31. We are asked to factorize m to the power of 3 minus m to the power of 2 plus 2m minus 2. So what we are going to do, we are going to factorize them in batches, first 2 and the second 2. The first 2 has m to the power of 2 in common, so we have m to the power of 2 outside. And inside we have m to the power of 3 divided by m to the power of 2 will give us m minus m to the power of 2 divided by m to the power of 2 is 1. Then we have our plus sign. Among 2m and 2, we have 2 in common, so we bring 2 out. Inside, we have 2m divided by 2 is m, minus 2 divided by 2 is 1. In the bracket, we have common terms, so we have m minus 1 outside. From the first time, we have only m squared. From the second time, we have only 2. The right option is option D. M squared plus 2 times m minus 1. All right, question number 32. The angles of quadrilateral are 5x minus 30, 4x plus 60, 60 minus x, and the last one 3x plus 61. So find the smallest angles here. So we know that quadrilateral, the sum of the interior angles are 360. So let us add all of them together and find the value of x. So we have a 5x minus 30, then plus 4x plus 60, then plus 60x plus 60 minus x, and lastly plus 3x plus 61. The whole of this must be 360 degrees. So let us collect the like terms. We have 5 here, we have 4, making 9. Take away 1, we have 8. You add 3, making 11. So we have 11x. Negative 30 plus 60, that will give us 30. 30 plus 60 is 90. Then we have, if you bring 1 here, we have 151. So we have 151 is equal to 360. 11x will be equal to 360 minus 151. 11x is equal to 209. Finally, x is equal to 209 divided by 11. And this is equal to 19. So x is equal to 19. If x is equal to 19, let us find all of these angles. So the first one, we have 5 times 19. 5 times 19 minus 30. That will give us 65. To the second one, we have 4 times 19. 4 times 19, then plus 60. That will give us 136. Moving on here, we have 60 minus 19. That will give us 41. And lastly, we have 3x, which is 3 times 19. 3 times 19 plus 61. That will give us 118. So what is the smallest here? The smallest here is 41 degrees, which is 60 minus x. Option C. Question number 33. What is the nth term of the sequence 2, 6, 12, and 20? We don't have to waste time here. The answer is n squared plus n. N squared plus n. I will prove that for you. If n is 1, we have 1 squared plus 1. 1 squared is equal to 1, and 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. You can see it's equal to 2 the first time. When n is 2, we have 2 squared plus 2. 2 squared is 4 plus 2 is 6. We have the second term. If n is 3, I will stop here. 3 squared plus 3. 3 squared is 9, and 9 plus 3 is definitely 12. So the answer is n squared plus n. So question number 34 is a binary operation question. It stated that if the binary operation this, which is an asterisk, is defined by m asterisk n. So wherever you have m asterisk n, it means m multiplied by n plus m plus n for any real numbers m and n. We're asked to find an identity, this identity element under the operation. So an identity, what does identity element does to a value? It doesn't change it. For example, under multiplication, if you have 2 multiplied by 1 is equal to 2, 3 multiplied by 1 is equal to 3. Under multiplication, whatever number you take, you multiply by 1 is still that number. Therefore, 1 is an identity under multiplication. And again, if you have like 2 plus 0 is equal to 2, minus 2 plus 0 is equal to minus 2, and so on. Any number you take and add 0, it is the same thing as that number. Therefore, under addition, 0 is an identity. So we have so many of this. I don't have to waste time. Let us move on to this question. Suppose the identity is E. So if you should relate any number, m or n, with this identity, it will not change it. Suppose we have n asterisk E. It will remain n. It won't change. But what is the definition of this? Because we want to find the value of this E. From definition, we have learned that if you have m asterisk n, it is the same thing as mn plus m plus n. So now let us relate this with this. Therefore, this will be n multiplied by E, then plus n, then finally plus E. And it must give us this same number n, because identity won't change it. So now let us collect the like terms by taking this to the right hand side, leaving ne plus e equal to n minus n. We can factorize this. We have e in common, n plus 1. This is equal to 0. So either e or n plus 1 is equal to 0. But our own goal is to find e. So let us set e to be equal to 0. Therefore, e is equal to 0, which is option D. Question number 35, we are asked to factorize completely a to 1 a to the power of 4 minus 16 b to the power of 4. I know that a to 1 can be written as 9 squared and 16 can be written as 4 squared. So let me write it. This is the same thing as 9 squared times a. And this a to the power of 4 can be written as 2 multiplied by 2, because 2 multiplied by 2 is the same thing as 4, minus 4 squared, then b to the power of 2 times 2. I have a target, so I can factor out 1 power here. So we have 9a squared raised to the power of 2. Can you see that? Minus 4b squared raised to the power of 2. This is difference of 2 squares. I can take the first term 9a squared and subtract the second term 4b squared, then I close. Then I will also multiply by 9a squared, then this time around plus. The only difference is the sign, 4b squared. From the left hand side, 9 can be written as 3 squared, and we still have a squared, minus 4 can be written as 2 squared, we still have b squared. We have 9a squared plus 4b squared. And I can combine the powers here, which is 3a all squared minus 2b all squared. Then I multiply by 9a squared plus 4b squared. This is also a difference of 2 squares. I can also factorize it. I take the first term 3a, I subtract the second term 2b, then I multiply by 3a. The only difference is the sign, 2b. Then finally we have 9a squared plus 4b also squared. So this is the factorized form of what we are given. Let us look through the options. We have 3a minus 2b. Yes, we have something like that here. 3a minus 2b times 3a plus 2b. And finally 9a squared plus 4b squared. So option C is the right option. Moving on, question number 36. We are almost done. Log x base 9 is equal to 1.5. So log x base 9 is equal to 15 divided by 10, because 15 divided by 10 is the same thing as 1.5. And I can reduce this to 5 can go into 15 3 times, and 5 can go into 10 2 times. So from definition of logarithm, I can take this base 9 and raise it to the power of 3 over 2, and it will give us this x. That's definition, 9 raised to the power of 3 over 2, and this must be equal to x. And this is the same thing as square root of 9 raised to the power of 3, right? This is equal to x. Square root of 9 is 3, so we have 3 squared, or 3 power 3 equal to x. 3 power 3 means 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3, 9, 9 times 3, 27. Therefore, x is equal to 27. Do we have it? Yes, option A. Question number 37, we are almost done. List all the integers that satisfy the inequality -2 less than 2x minus 6 less than 4. This is simultaneous linear inequality. We are going to break it down into two inequalities. The first one, -2 less than 2x minus 6. So we are grouping them. We take the first two numbers, -2 less than 2x minus 6. So we solve this first. I can bring this one backward. It becomes positive 6 minus 2 less than 2x. 6 minus 2 is 4, so we have 4 less than 2x. We divide both sides by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So we have 2 less than x. Then we combine the second inequality, 2x minus 6 less than 4. We have 2x minus 6 less than 4. We can take this to the right hand side, 2x less than 10, because 6 plus 4 is 10. Divide both sides by 2, we have x less than 5. So we combine the two inequalities together. We have 2 less than x, also less than 5. But we want to find the numbers that can satisfy this inequality. This means that x is greater than 2. Which number is greater than 2? We have 3, we have 4. We don't have to write 5 because x also is less than 5. So 4 is less than 5. So we have to stop here. So the numbers that can satisfy this inequality are just 3 and 4, which is option D. Question number 38. It reads, x is due east of y on a cost. Z is another point on the cost, but 6 kilometers due south of y. If the distance zx is 12 kilometers, we are asked to calculate the bearing of z from x. So let's break the question down. Remember our 4 cardinal points. We have the north, the south, the east, and the west. So let's start with x. Suppose we have a point x here. Due east of y. Okay, so we have to start with y. So if we have y here, due east of y, we are going to this direction. And we have to meet x at that point, right? Z is another point on the coast, but 6 kilometers due south of y. So this is the south of y. If you come down here, you have to meet z. And this is 6 kilometers from the question. So the distance of z to x, so we are going to connect z and x together. The z is 12 kilometers. The question is asking us to calculate the bearing of z from x. So this is the z, and we want to calculate the bearing from x. So let me show you how to calculate the bearing from x. If we have our cardinal points like this, you know, at the back right here, we have 180 degrees. So we don't have problem with this. This is 180 degrees. So we need this angle right here. Whatever angle is here, we add it to 180 degrees. That will give us the bearing of z from x, because we want to find that angle that goes from the north of x down to the line leading to z. So if we can find this angle right here, we are halfway done. Remember, this is a right angle triangle. So this angle right here, let us find it. Sine theta is opposite all over hypotenuse. So let's use that. Sine theta is equal to opposite. And the opposite of theta is 6. And the hypotenuse, the longest side, is 12. And sine theta is equal to 1 over 2 or 0.5. If sine theta is 0.5, it means that theta is equal to sine inverse of 0.5. Just use your calculator and that will give us 30 degrees. So theta is equal to 30 degrees. So if this angle right here is 30 degrees, if this is 30 degrees, remember that this is south and this line here is 90 degrees. If you come down from here down here, you have 180 plus another 90, making 270. And out of this 270, we want to take away 30 just to get the angle that stopped at this point. So to find this bearing, we are going to take away 30 from 270, and that will give us 240 degrees, which is option A. Second to the last question is a question under set theory. So I think before I even read the question, let me draw a Venn diagram because it will help us very much. I've already gone through the question and realized we have 3 sets. So we have 3 cycles. So a group of market women sell at least 1 yam, plantain, and maize. So 12 of them sell maize, 10 of them sell yam, and 14 of them sell plantain. 5 of them sell plantain and maize, 4 of them sell yam and maize, 2 of them sell yam and plantain only, while 3 sell all the items. So we ask to find how many women are in this group. So let me show you, because I realize we have only 3 categories of business here. We have those that sell yam, so let me call this Y. This is plantain, P. And last one we have M for maize. So it is always recommended to start imputing the values from the last value. So the last one, we have 3. These 3 represent the number of women that sell all the 3 items. So we are going to make it the intersection between the 3 items here. So we have 3 here. So these 3 people sell all the 3 items, yam, plantain, and maize. Then we keep on coming backward. You can see we have another number here too. And these 2 sell yam and plantain only. This word only is very important. So let's look for yam and plantain. Yam and plantain, look at them here. So in the intersection between them, we write 2 because it's stated only. Then moving backward again, we have another number here, 4, that sells yam and maize. Yam and maize. Why is this is yam and maize? We have 4 of them. But already we have 3 here because this does not say only. So we have to take away this 3 from the 4 and we have 1 left. Going backward again, we have 5 that sell plantain and maize. So plantain and maize, we have 5 of them, but we already have 3 here, the intersection between them. So we have only 2 that is going to be imputed here, plus this 3 making 5. As we are moving on, we have 14, and this 14 sell plantain. So under plantain, we have 14. But we have already another number here, which we are going to subtract from the 14 and write the rest. So 14 minus 2 is 10, minus 3 is 7. So we are going to write 7 right here. Backward, we have 10. 10 sell yam. So under yam, we have 10. But already we have 1, 3, and 2, making how many? 6. So if we take away 6 from this 10, we have 4 left. So we write 4 here. And the last one, we have 12. You can see that here. 12 of them sell maize. So under maize, we already have 1, 2, 3, then plus 3, 6. So all we have to write here is 6 because we already have 6. So to find the number of women here, all we have to do is to add all the numbers you can see here. So let's add them. 4 and 2 is 6. 6 and 1 is 7. 7 and 3 is 10. 10 and 7 is 17. 17 and 2 is 19. 19 and 6 is 25. So we have 25 number of women in this group. And the last question, I have already solved this one. If you check my YouTube channel, I have this, but let me still repeat it. But I'm going to introduce that simplest method. It stated that if x plus 2 and x minus 2 are factors of this expression, lx plus 2kx squared plus 24, we're asked to find the value of k and L and k. All right, remember I told you this is a quadratic expression, and if you multiply these two factors together, they must be equivalent to this quadratic expression. So all we have to do is to multiply x plus 2 by x minus 1. This is equal to x times x is x squared, x times negative 1 is negative x. Then we take the second term, 2 times x is 2x. And lastly, 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Let's simplify the middle term. You can see negative x plus 2x is just x. So we have x squared plus x minus 2. But look at the constant here is positive 24, while the constant here is negative 24. To make it equivalent, we can multiply this by negative 12. So we are going to multiply this expression by negative 12. If you do that, you see the first term becomes negative 12x squared, then minus 12x, then plus 24. Now we can easily relate the two expressions together. Lx must be equal to negative 12x, which is the coefficient of x here. So now let us relate them together. Lx is equal to negative 12x. You can see that x will cancel x. Therefore, L is equal to negative 12. Then we take the second one. You can see 2kx squared will be equivalent to negative 12x squared. So 2kx squared is equal to negative 12x squared. This will cancel this. We have 2k equal to negative 12. And k finally is equal to negative 12 divided by 2. And k must be equal to negative 6. So you can see that L is negative 12 and k equal to negative 6. Let us find them here. L negative 12 and k. Okay, is option A. And this comes to the end of this tutorial. This is walkthrough for Jamb question 2021. Subsequently, we are going to look onto the Jamb question 2020. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye bye.